Hello, everybody. I hope you are all doing well. There are some problems on eccentricity that you probably need help with. So let me give you some notes. So eccentricity, we'll call E, is just the ratio of C over A. Remember, in an ellipse, C is a distance from the foci to the center. And A, these aren't that organized, are they? It's a distance from the center to the furthest vertex. So, what does this do for us? If you can calculate C and A, then you can calculate E. But also, if you have the eccentricity and either C or A, you can calculate the last remaining variable. For example, I'm just going to make a problem up for us. Let's see, we will do 25, 9. Let's calculate the eccentricity. So A would be square root of 25, which is 5. And B would be the square root of 9, which is 3. But we know in an ellipse, A squared is B squared plus C squared. So if we put these numbers back in, whoops daisies, we can calculate C. So we find that C is 4. Now we can calculate the eccentricity. It's just going to be 4 over 5. Now let's do a problem where it's a little different. If we're given an ellipse, and the eccentricity, I'm going to make up a number, let's say 4/5. And then let's say you're given the foci. I'm going to say, let's go crazy a little bit here, 10, 0, and negative 10, 0. That's going to put our center halfway between. So if we kind of did that, our center would be right there. And then this distance would be C, which would be 10. So could we find our ellipse? I think so. So let's go back. What do we know? We know E is C over A. But we know E is 4 over 5, so we replace E with 4 over 5. And we know C is 10. Now, we can calculate A. This might be a little bit ugly, but we'll just do it. Multiply both sides by 5A. We get 4A equals 50. Another oopsie. Divide both sides by 4. I keep forgetting to change the colors. And we get our final answer. A equals 25 over 2. Kind of ugly, but we'll have to deal with it. Now to get our equation, we're almost there. We know our ellipse is going to be wide since, I don't know, it's going to be that way. So when we write our equation, our center's at 0, so it's x squared plus y squared. Our a will go underneath the x since it's wider, so we can go ahead and plug that in. And then we have to calculate b, but we have our equation. A squared equals b squared plus c squared. Now it's going to get ugly. I picked some bad numbers. All right, here we go. 25 over 2 squared equals b squared. And our c we found earlier, and that was just 10. All right, ugly, ugly, ugly. 25 squared is 625 over 4. Subtract 100 from both sides. Let's get a common denominator. That's going to be a 4. 225 over 4 is b squared. B is going to be 15 over 2. Not that ugly. So, back up to our equation. We put in b squared. And it kind of gets a little ugly again. If we multiply by the reciprocal, we get 4 over 625. And here we're going to get 4 over 225. And we get our final answer. Yes, kind of ugly, but doable. All right. Now let's look at the hyperbola. Our eccentricity is still c over a. In the hyperbola, we still have c is the distance from the foci to the center. And a is the distance from the vertices Whoopsie again. To the center. So let's do a couple example problems. Suppose I had an hyperbola equation. I'll change the center just to make it different. Doesn't change anything really. And let's see, let's do some nice numbers again. Let's do 100 here. And my brain's not working. 64 here. All right, from this, we can see a squared is 100, or a is 10. B squared is 64, so b is 8. So we have our formula for eccentricity, which is c over a. Well, we have a, but now we have to find c. So now we go to our formula for a hyperbola. Remember, in this one, it's c squared is a squared plus b squared, because c is the longest distance. Oh my. Me not so smart. I didn't pick nice numbers. So c squared is 100 plus 64. C squared is 164. C is the square root of 164. Can we simplify that? We'll just leave it like that. Well, I guess we could simplify that, but C will be the square root of 164 over 8. Let's see, let me break down 164. That's 2 times 82, 2 times 41. So that would be 2 radical 41 over 8, which is radical 41 over 4. Kind of ugly, but that's an example in a hyperbola of finding eccentricity. Now let's go to a next. Hopefully that interruption wasn't heard by you guys. My phone just rang and it stopped my screencast. You may have heard it, you may not have, but let's move on. We're doing an example of a hyperbola. Now we're going to give the eccentricity. Let's pick a nice number. Let me think. I will do 4 over, let's see. Ooh, I'm going to make this weird. Let's try 3. All right, so let's give the vertices. Let me think. I will make the vertices 0, 6. Whoops, if I could write what I say. And 0, -6. All right, what is this going to look like? All right, what does that leave us with? We are given this distance now will be A, since those are our vertices. Now, A would be 6. Now, we can use our formula for eccentricity to calculate C. So eccentricity, we know, is C over A. Plug in 4/3 for E. And plug in 6 for A. We will now multiply both sides by 6. And we get C as 8. Wow, why do we need that? Because we have a formula for hyperbolas where it's C squared is A squared plus B squared. So now plugging in 8 for C and 6 for A, we can now calculate B. 64, 36 there. 64 minus 36, what is that, 28, I believe. Let me double check that. I think I'm right. So B would be the square root of 28, which is 2 radical 7. But we're pretty much done because our hyperbola is going to open that way. So that's going to make our y squared positive. So we're going to get y squared minus x squared. Our a will go underneath the positive one. Since our a was 6, we'll put a 6 squared there. And our b, you know what? I'm going to leave it radical 28 because when we square that, it's going to come out nicely. So that's how you deal with eccentricity. Just remember, it's a ratio of C over A. And if you have an equation, you can calculate C and A and quickly find the eccentricity. But if you're given the eccentricity, as long as you have C or A, you can calculate the missing C or A. And from that, you can figure out everything. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, just email me, message me somehow, and I will try to answer it to the best of my ability. I will talk to you guys soon through these messages and miss you guys. And have a wonderful day. Bye.